Show me what to do, Father. I got no job now, and I really need your help, more than ever. You've taught me the hard way how to pray. I learned my lesson. So here I am. Do whatever you want with me. Open my eyes and help me see what you want me to see. Show me your truth, just like you showed me the truth of your name last week, Yahuwah. And show me what to do next. Wow. Look at that moon. And all those stars. What an amazing universe you've made. You made every single star I can see. And billions more that I can't see. But that moon just tops them all. The light to rule the night. But there has to be more to it than just that. I just can't put my finger on what it is yet. Signs, seasons, days, years. What does it all mean, Father?
There you are.
Oh, hi, honey.
I was wondering what happened to you. When you take the garbage out, it doesn't normally take you a half an hour. Any longer, and I was going to send Sparky out after you. What you doing?
I'm sorry, honey. I just got sidetracked.
Sidetracked? With what? Wait, you're not trying to sing with the crickets again, are you?
No, I was just praying some. Got caught up looking at the moon and the stars.
Wait, you were praying? Really? What about?
Well, I don't know exactly. Direction and understanding, I guess. What to do next about work and all that. But then I got to looking out into space. You know, every time I look out into the stars, or especially the moon lately, something inside of me says there's more to it all.
More to it? What do you mean?
Well, you know Genesis 1:14, where Yahuwah says the moon is for signs and seasons.
And days and years.
Right. Well, I know the moon determines how long our months are, so that takes care of the days and years part of it. And I know it's in charge of the ocean tides. I learned that much in school. But it's the signs and seasons part I'm wondering about. You see, there's got to be more to the moon than just keeping track of our months. It's been going around in my head for days now, and I just can't quite put my finger on the answer yet.
Wow, this is really amazing.
Amazing? How so?
You're wondering about the exact same thing I've been studying for about 2 days now.
Really?
Yeah, I found something in the scriptures that got me curious. So I've been searching and digging ever since then. And I think I might have found some of the answers you're looking for.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not saying it's 100% yet, but it's possible. Why don't we go back inside, grab a snack, and I'll show you what I found so far. There you go. One bowl of frozen banana ice cream made with real frozen organic bananas.
This is great. It doesn't get any better than this, right?
Oh, yes it does. With this.
Hey, organic chocolate syrup. Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Let's pour a little of this on there. Yeah, this is going to be good. Nothing like a little chocolate over frozen banana ice cream. Delicious. This makes me feel like a kid again. I could go for a gallon of this.
And you'd be sick as a dog after eating it all, too.
Yeah, you're probably right. So what's this new thing about the moon you've been learning?
I came across a video online a few days ago about the lunar Sabbath.
Lunar Sabbath? What's that?
Well, it has to do with the Sabbath days being determined by the moon cycle.
The moon? Really?
Yeah, and that word seasons means appointed times or days.
Uh-huh.
Well, what's the Sabbath day if not an appointed time or day? If all the other appointed times are determined by the moon, what would make the Sabbath day any different? It's just as much an appointed time as any other feast day.
But wait, with a Sabbath every 7 days, that makes 4 Sabbaths a month. The last Sabbath would fall on the 28th of the month, but the moon is on a 30-day cycle every month, like clockwork. What about the other 2 days?
That's where Isaiah 66:23 comes in. Here, let me find it. Here it is. It says, "And it shall be from new moon to new moon, and from Sabbath to Sabbath, all mankind will come to worship before me, says Yahuwah." And that means that every new moon, that whole day is set aside for worship.
You mean no work?
That's right. The first day of every Hebrew month is a day of worship with no work. But the next day is the first of 6 days of work. Then, after the 6 days of work is the first Sabbath on the 8th day of the month.
Okay, but wait. I thought Yahuwah blessed the 7th day, not the 8th.
He did. He blessed the 7th day that followed his 6 days of work. But the first day of each month is not among those 6 work days. You see, Yahuwah said in 6 days you shall do all your work. But he never said when those 6 days of work began. If you have a day of worship at the beginning of every month when you don't work, that day is not one of the 6 work days. It's separate.
Hey, I think I'm getting it. It's sort of like if I had to take a medication that said take once a week on the 7th day after eating 3 meals a day for 6 days straight. But if I fasted on the first day and started eating on the next day instead, that means I wouldn't be taking the medication until what would be the 8th day instead of the 7th day.
Exactly. It's only after 6 straight days of work that we have a Sabbath, but the worship day is not part of those 6 days. It sets alone at the beginning of each month. That makes the Sabbaths land on the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th day of every lunar month.
Okay, I'm with you so far, but wait a minute. We have a problem here. If the last Sabbath lands on the 29th day of the month, and the worship day isn't until the first day of the next month, that still leaves us with the 30th day in between the two of them. What do we do with that?
Well, the 30th day is a preparation day prior to the day of worship, just like any other prep day before any other Sabbath.
Prep day, huh? No work that day either?
Nope. It's the day of conjunction when the moon is dark and gives no light. It isn't a Sabbath, and it isn't a worship day either. It's just a day to prepare for the following day of worship.
Well, that would make the Sabbath days jump ahead on the pagan calendar about 2 days every month. They wouldn't just be at the end of every week like they have been. I mean, according to the pagan calendar, eventually the Sabbath days would all land at different points during the pagan work week. Each month it would land on a different day of the week.
You're getting it, honey.
Wow. Talk about being separated from the rest of the world. Hey, wait a minute.
What is it?
The last Sabbath of the month is the 29th, no work that day. The 30th is a prep day with no work that day. And the 1st is a worship day with no work that day either. That's 3 whole days off in a row. How in the world is anybody supposed to hold a normal job?
Yahuwah demands that we be separate from the rest of the world. So much so to where we would have to break all ties with them. His people would have to learn to work for each other, to support each other, to be separate from the rest of the pagan world.
Like their own community, huh?
Right.
Just like Israel was in the scriptures. Wow. You know, this really gives the word separated a much deeper definition.
Yes, it does.
And just what's going to happen when Yahuwah starts showing more believers the lunar Sabbath? There's a lot of them out there working regular 9 to 5 jobs 5 and 6 days a week. I know a few of them, and they're supervisors too. And none of them I know will be so gracious as to just allow them to have a different day off every month just to honor the Sabbath with. When they finally get a hold of this, honey, it's going to rock their whole world. And you know what else? It's not just lunar Sabbath, but there are so many other aspects of keeping Torah that if his people were to keep them to the letter, the way Yahuwah intended us to, none of us would be allowed to work out in the world.
We were never supposed to work for the world in the first place, though.
We were never supposed to blend in, were we?
Nope. We were always supposed to be separate from the rest of the world.
So, where does that leave us?
It leaves us with a choice to make. What you gonna do now?